And welcome to all of you joining us on this glorious Friday. We're exactly a minute from starting, which gives you plenty of time to find your most comfortable sitting position. And to gently find your breath. And on this Shabbat Eve, I invite you, if you so choose, to chant Shalom. And we let the body, after chanting Shalom, we let the body gently recover the natural rhythm of its own breath. Never trying to impose whatever the mind believes meditative breathing should be, needs to be, ought to be. It is our first step, the first modality of practice of relinquishing the illusion of control. When we simply let the body find and follow its natural breathing pattern without intervening. And it is also the first step of practicing simply being with what is. If your breath is long, it is long, short, it is short, deep, shallow, makes no difference. You just notice. Breath is deep, breath is shallow, breath is long, breath is short, whatever you find. And that's it. And when we say you just are, you just be with what is, that implies no preference. No preference for the breath to be any different than it is, to be other than it is. And then we expand the practice to the entirety of this moment's experience. Not just this radical acceptance of the breath to be just as it is without any preference, but this moment, the totality of this experience. No likes, no dislikes. Not letting the mind compare today's meditation with yesterday's meditation or last Shabbat's meditation. Drawing inferences, weighing the pros and the cons, none of that. There is no like and no dislike. There is just what is. No preference. And as it goes with the breath and the meditation itself, so does it go for our physical, emotional, mental experience. No preference. Perhaps we find this being agitated right now, or perhaps we find this being calm and composed right now. Perhaps we find this being with aches and pains and having a hard time just sitting still. Perhaps we find this being completely surrendered, completely peaceful, with no aches or pain, just physically blissful. Again, no preference. It could be this way, it could be that way. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It is what it is. But feel the mind resisting this injunction, this practice, how the mind resists being with what is, how the mind wants what is to be different, better, calmer, less agitated. That if I am meditating, then I should be blissfully, peacefully sitting in this body without any pain, any discomfort. That's what it should be. I must be a failure at meditation. if that is not the experience right now. None of that. Whatever your physical, mental, emotional experience, just receive it as it is. No preference. No preference. Oh, and perhaps things have shifted. You were in such peaceful, beautiful state. And now, just seconds later, it's all thoughts and agitation and resistance to the practice, to the guidance, to the seat, the place you are finding yourself in the space of your surroundings, whatever. Something is shifted, and now it's not as easy to just be with what is. It was easy just a moment ago, but not anymore. Can we watch that and accept that as it is? Now we can expand this practice to not just this breath, not just this meditation, not just our physical, emotional, or mental circumstances, but to life, to this life, to our life, to life in general, to the world as it is, the universe as it expands. Can we just say Amen? It is exactly as it is, with all its ugliness and all its great beauty. This life, my life, this world, the universe itself, no preference. Now it's even harder, isn't it? Because of all our life's resentments, perhaps, our life's hardships. How can we say yes to all this pain and this suffering? How can we not want this to be other than it is, than it was, than it has been? How can we not want who we are, our life, to have been different than it was, than it is? What is this? Torture. We never thought of the injunction to be with what is, to be so complicated, to be so far-reaching, that it would upend how we understand our life altogether. How it would show us how we are always in battle with life. How we spend our days, our hours, resisting, fighting life itself. How we are almost never really at peace. Can we say Amen to who we are? Can we say yes to our life? Can we put down the weapons and stop the fight? Can we rest finally? Can we Shabbat finally? Can we make Amen, the Hebrew word that means it is so, our mantra today? The pithiest of words, Amen, but probably the most powerful. So whatever arises, whatever presents itself to you for the rest of this meditation, just say Amen and stay with the breath and stay surrendered. This moment, it is so. Amen. we gently let go of our practice without resisting the flow of life that brings this meditation to almost a close. This is what is now. We take a couple of deeper breaths, perhaps, if we want, to help us move out of the meditation. And stretch if that is what is needed, without resisting the body in any way that seems to be arising. Our teachers tell us that when we're able to live from this place, which in Hebrew is called lishma, for its own sake, for what it is, then all we have to do is what's next. And the universe always presents to us what is needed next. And so we just do that. Why? Because it's what's next. And so we'll chant Shalom, dedicating our practice to all beings, that all beings might find the peace, the wholeness, the harmony, the Shalom that comes when we stop resisting what is. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom to you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shabbat
Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Okay.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
What?